So the breaking news we've been following all day in Georgia, officials have identified the Army sergeant who shot 5 of his fellow soldiers. Nearly 10,000 people work and live at Fort Stewart, an Army base about 40 miles southwest of Savannah. Kevin Reese has been tracking the latest developments and joins us from our newsroom with what he's learned.
Well, the good news here is that everyone injured today is expected to survive. Unfortunately, this is a problem on another military base that we've seen here in Texas too many times before. The shooting today happened on base at Fort Stewart near Savannah just before 11 a.m. local time. Authorities say that this man, Sergeant Quornelius Radford, opened fire with his personal 9mm handgun at his place of work on the base. He's assigned to a logistics section with the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team. 5 other soldiers were injured and rushed to hospitals. Other soldiers pulled the gun away from Radford and subdued him.
The shooting occurred at the soldier's place of work. It did involve his co-workers. I would also like to thank the brave soldiers who immediately intervened and subdued the shooter. These soldiers, without a doubt, prevented further casualties.
And as I mentioned, unfortunately, this is a familiar tragedy for Texas. Fort Hood in Killeen in 2009, that's what this old video is from. Nidal Hassan, an Army psychiatrist, fatally shot 13 people on base and injured more than 30 that day. Ruled an act of terrorism based on his religious beliefs, Hassan was sentenced to death, but he is still locked up. These 26 years later, these 16 years later, the U.S. Supreme Court denied his final appeal just a few months ago. And again at Fort Hood in 2014, 4 people, including the gunman, were killed, 14 injured. The gunman, an Army specialist under treatment for depression, anxiety, and PTSD, took his own life that day at Fort Hood. Investigators today at Fort Stewart in Georgia say they aren't sure of the motive, but we have learned that the shooter today got into an argument with one of the victims just yesterday. In the newsroom, I'm Kevin Reese.